Good Wednesday afternoon, everybody. We have got yet another rainy day, and I'm not even sure what's going on with my hair today. I have this crazy, I'm not sure if it's the weather or what, but it's got this, I just woke up, look to it, and I swear to God, well, I've been up since 4 a.m., so maybe that's why my hair looks like this. Anyways, guys, today we're going to be talking about procrastination. I have some gals in my transformation program who ask me sometimes, how do you get so much stuff done in a day? How is it that you're writing a book, you're creating an online course, you've got this 6-week transformation challenge going, you're building a team, you've got this virtual business that you're generating and growing here. How do you get it all done in a day? And today we are going to be talking about that. So speaking of our 6-week transformation, we are launching our next one in 1 month's time, July 7th. This is your opportunity to jump on in and get into that program. We're signing up people now so that they're all set and ready to go by July 7th. Okay, so the gals in my network know that the only thing that I want for them is growth. I want personal growth on all levels. We, of course, use fitness and nutrition as the vehicle towards their transformation, but we focus a lot on education so that they have that personal growth available to them. And we encourage to push yourself outside the box just a little bit more every single day. So we focus a lot on personal growth. And today I want to talk about procrastination because at the end of the day, procrastination is a habit. We have a habit of procrastinating, and our brains are wired in two different ways. First, our brains are always wired to do things as easily as possible. And that's why we've had such an amazing evolution over time, because our brains are constantly working on ways for things to happen and do and function on a much easier level. So that's number one. And number two, our brains are wired to stay safe at all times. So if anything is uncertain, if we're not sure how to do something, the procrastination sets in, right? So you have this project and you want to sit down to do it, and you go to sit down to do it, but then you're like, what's in the fridge? Because something may have changed since 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I'm hungry. And you sit down and you have a few nuts and you're like, you know what? I want a cup of tea. So you get up, you make a cup of tea, and you come back, and then you're like, oh dear, maybe I should check my email because something important may have come in the last 3.5 minutes. So we tend to do things that are easy, and we tend to do things that keep us safe. So the strong muscle here that we must build is creating new habits that really help to conquer procrastination. A lot of them can be self-doubt. So I have a gal in my transformation program where there's a lot of exciting things that she wants to do in her business, and she wants to elevate and skyrocket her business, but her own personal self-doubt in what she's capable of doing or her knowledge on a subject stops her from doing that next step. And the next thing you know, you wake up in the morning and we do the things that are easy. And this is the habit that we create. We wake up, we roll over, we turn on to Facebook, we're like scrolling the feeds, we get up, we go in the shower, we get ready, we drive to work, we're like, okay, what's going on on Facebook? Let's see what's going on in our emails. We check our voicemails, and we're doing all those little tiny tasks that give us an immediate sense of reward. I've checked my email, so I've accomplished something. I've responded to Facebook messages, so I've accomplished something. And at the end of the day, that doesn't net you the growth. It doesn't take you to the next level in your business, at your job, with your marriage, with your kids, or whatever. It's just hovering. It's like treading water, right? At the end of the day, it treads water. So that's what we want to do. We want to create new habits. One of the most powerful habit that I have is the fact that I get up at 4 a.m. anywhere in between 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning, depending on what time I went to bed the night before. I also have the powerful habit of making sure my butt is in bed by 9 p.m. Now that sounds totally unrealistic to some people, but when you go to bed at 9 and you wake up at 4, you have a magical 3-hour window where crazy productivity can happen. So just this morning, I was speaking to another one of my challengers. It was like 10 to 5 in the morning. She's like, honestly, I don't know how you do it. Like, I just happened to get up because the baby was hungry and I had to feed the baby. But like, seriously, I'm dead tired. I don't know how you get up at this time in the morning. By 7 a.m., I had already spoken on the phone to 2 of my 2 Comma Club team people. One of the guys who's going to be building out my funnel, another guy who's going to be building out my messenger bots. And so both of those meetings were really important to make action happen within my online business. I had written out a fitness program. I had already watched one of my 2 Comma Club educational videos. I had been running on my treadmill and lifting weights that entire time. What else did I do? I had a meeting with my editor. Now, it's helpful that those 3 people are all overseas, so the timing is a little different for them than for me. But I was able, in those 3 hours, to get major progress done. And that's the win when it comes to procrastination, right? The win with procrastination is progress. And sometimes all it takes is that initial launch, that initial step forward. So I want to take a second right now and do a little break to see, because I'm not seeing my people, and I know they're here. So let me just see my people coming on here, because I know you're there because you're commenting and you're seeing my live video. So in the meantime, let me go on to say, let me just pull that up here. There we go. Lovely. Okay, so the biggest win to procrastination is that progress. And that's also the biggest win in the step towards happiness, because you can go for all the money in the world. You can go for the best romantic relationship in the world. But progress is the definition of happiness. When you have made that next step forward towards your goal and you've made those wins, that's when true satisfaction is going to reside within you. That's when you get that self-esteem and that self-confidence, because every time you accomplish one of your goals, that just knocks another hole in your belt that says, I was able to accomplish that. And that's a very powerful win. So the way how you achieve that when it comes to battling procrastination is by choosing that one thing that is going to take you in the right direction to accomplish your one big thing. So I've outlined 2 links here up in the comments here. And one of them is for the Art Williams speech. And if you have not listened to the Art Williams speech, do it. That's a very powerful speech. I must listen to that speech at least once a month, maybe once or twice a month. It's a really great, great speech to listen to. And another one of the books that I've read and gals that I follow on YouTube is Mel Robbins, or Mel Robbins, I think it's Roberts. And she wrote the 5-second rule. So one of my challengers read that book, and just after reading that book, they're like, you know what, Cher, if I don't join your program now, I won't join it at all. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, I'm in, and I'm going to make magic happen. And that was 3 challenges ago, and she's still with us, and she's still thriving, and she's still getting amazing results. So what did I want to say here? Yeah, you want to take that one action step. The difference between a thought and a decision is the action, just that action step. You have to make decisions. Do not procrastinate on the decisions that you are, you have something big that's happening in your life, or even those small ones, and you just can't decide what it is that you want to do. So in my situation, I get just a truckload of messages throughout the day on Facebook where I have to make certain decisions about customers, about a problem or something going on in my dream team with a challenge that we need to overcome. And I find that you give yourself like this timeline to digest that information, digest that thought, and then boom, make the decision and take the action. Because the longer you just procrastinate, that stuff's just never going to get done. And then it sits, right? It sits in your chest and you're like, oh man, like I still have to make a decision about that. I still have to take action on that. And then more things come up, right? That bright, shiny object of all the more stuff that starts to come up. And then we start to feel that pressure and it starts to build and mount and build and mount. Okay. So these are the main points that I wanted to talk about when it came to procrastination, because you're going to be one of two people. Okay, you're either going to be helping somebody else achieve their goals, or you're going to set your own goals. And that's really the definition between an entrepreneur and an employee. And I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years. I'm very passionate about being an entrepreneur. I love to help and inspire the people within my network to break through and break out of the corporate chains and learn how to be an entrepreneur, because in my world, that's the definition of freedom. No one will dictate to you what you do at a certain time. You're not locked into a jail cell of accomplishing, and going to work from 9 to 5. You control your schedule. You control your time. You control your output. You control your input. You control the people in your life. And it is so important for you to take out the negative people in your life who drag you down. You need to be able to focus 100% on the people that lift you up, the people that bring you up and add that positive environment to your world. Very important, okay? You need to go through your Rolodex of people and the people where you spend time with. And if there are people who are negative, or there are people who bring you down, or there are people that are naysayers, or they dismiss things that are important to you, or they don't serve your greater good. There are people in your life that you have and you entertain them in your life because they're there. But really, when you get around to it, you're like, does that person match my direction of where I want to go in life? Are they serving the greater good of my master big goal? Or are they, one of those decorations on a Christmas tree that just kind of hang there, right? So you have people in your life that you absolutely can't get rid of. I shouldn't say that. There are people in your life that you choose not to get rid of because they're family members and they're a part of your life, assuming that they're a positive role model for you. Or they offer a strong connection and a strong, loving connection within your life. Okay, there's just no reason, blood related or not, to have anyone in your life who does not inspire, motivate, and encourage you. Otherwise, you just keep those relationships down to a minimum, right? So that's my major goal when it came to talking to you today about procrastination. And to be honest with you, I've been wanting to start an online business for 10 years. I've tried a couple of times. Sometimes they work, sometimes they didn't work. And then I got into personal training, and that's where I found my home for a good decade. But it would be since the last 5 years that I was like, man, I really wish I could figure out how to make this happen online. And sometimes timing is everything. Sometimes, you can even work with a numerologist. That's what I did many years ago. And she told me 10, 15 years ago that it wouldn't be until I was in my 40s where I'd be writing a book, doing public speaking, being on media. At that time, who knew social media would be around? But she said I would be in front of the camera, and I would be an educator. And that's where I find myself today. And that was all of my numerology 10 to 15 years ago. And maybe sometimes timing is right, and timing is the right time. And now I'm building up this virtual business that is thriving and powerful and doing amazing work. And, it's happening. But it doesn't happen without every single morning having a solid morning routine by winning the morning. And the way how you win the morning is you get up early and you have an agenda. You sit in bed for 10 to 15 minutes tops, and you just forecast your entire day of the things that are most important for you to get done that day. What is the outcome of the day? Oprah Winfrey used to start every single meeting with the question, what's the outcome of this meeting? I want to know, to seek clarity right at the beginning before we even start talking. What is the outcome of this meeting? And you got to ask yourself, what is the outcome of this day? Get out of the grind and that routine that just kind of keeps you going around and around. Get focused in on the outcome of your day that's going to serve your greater good, that's going to serve the greater purpose. So I hope you found that helpful when it comes to dealing with procrastination. Get up in the morning, get early, create a solid routine, create new habits that are going to take one action step forward that will offer you that progress to making that one thing happen. Go and buy that 5-second rule by Mel Roberts, I think her name is, and read it. Take some serious action. Get that personal growth inside you today. Get yourself that little bit higher to being a little bit better every single day. So I will conclude my little podcast by reminding you, go and make your health non-negotiable today. I look forward to seeing you again on the next one. Have yourself an amazing day, everybody. Bye for now.